Okay, we're stopping here. We're gonna lift the casket one more time. We're gonna push on this lever. Okay.
Watch your toes.
Watch your toes. Just watch your toes. And down. Thank you very much. We have.
You have it now? Thank you.
Please come and be seated.
Can I not be in any pictures?
That's fine. Go ahead and be seated.
Just a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have a cell phone, please put it into silent mode at this time. The service is going to be conducted by Rabbi Rachel Weiss, but first honors will be done by the U.S. Navy. Mary.
are here today in sadness, and we are here today gathered, some of us here in person and some of us virtually, to send love to all and to celebrate and remember the life of Shirley.
There's 24 people on the live stream with us.
So hello to all of you who are watching on the live stream, particularly to Michael and Julie, to your daughters, to your children, to Liz and to Emily, to all of you who are here, to Marcia and to Clint, to Randy and Billy. We are here with everyone who is here in spirit. These are very strange times that we are living in, and so it is a blessing that we could be here today to gather and remember Shirley Elizabeth Samuels and to tell her story. Some of us were gathered not so far from here, but together for the funeral of her beloved cousin Carol. And so it is hard and it is painful at such tender times so close together to be together. Mike, I know you in Pennsylvania, and Marcia, you here are wearing ribbons, Kriya ribbons, which represents the tear that has occurred in the fabric of your family, that represents the inside brokenness that is here. The psalmist says that Adonai karov lenishberei lev, that God is close to the brokenhearted. And we are here, and I know that your heart is broken. So I want to invite you to take the ends of the ribbon, to tear it, or you can help one another, and Mike to do so now as well. You can hold it from the bottom and just simply tear up the middle. The tearing is symbolic, but the brokenness is not. And so, the words of the 23rd Psalm. Adonai is my shepherd, I shall not want. You make me to lie down in green pastures. You lead me beside still waters and restore my soul. You guide me in straight paths for the honor of your name. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You have anointed my head with oil. My cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of Adonai. As we are here in person and in spirit, we tell some of Shirley's story. We are here as we remember 94 years of a life fully lived, a woman born October 14th, 1925, and lived until this past Saturday, March 21st. We remember her late husband, your father, Stanley Samuels, beside whom she will be soon laid to rest. And we are here with Shirley's daughter and son-in-law, Marcia and Clint, with Shirley's son, Michael and Julie, with Elizabeth, Randy, Billy, and Sarah, Emily. We remember her late brother, Jerry, and sister-in-law, Sylvia. Earlier this week, as Mike and I spoke, he gathered together his thoughts and words and memories along with extended members of the family to share these remembrances and love letter to your mother. And it's my honor to read it now. Mike writes, "What a long, strange trip it has been. 70 years in our beloved Chicago, 20 years in Phoenix, 4 years in Philadelphia, and 3 days in New Jersey waiting for a plane to bring you back home. Full circle, and what a trip it has been. This is a love letter to my mom from the Horn family, my sister Marcia, and me, her son Michael. First, though, I'd like to start with some of my remembrances. Mom was an original, one in a line of strong women. Mom wanted to enlist in the Navy during World War II, but she was too young. No problem, she lied about her age and served the last year of the war, decoding incoming messages from ships in the South Pacific. Her mother, Rose, was a strong, supportive, and fiercely loyal woman. Rose's parents owned a resort in South Holland, Michigan. Mom would always speak fondly of spending summers there. While she described her grandfather as a dandy who always wore spats, Mom was impressed by her grandmother's business and cooking skills. When Mom's father died in 1939, her family had no means of support. Her strong mom and equally strong brother carried the family. My mom learned to be a survivor. Mom's brother Jerry was a strong influence in her life. An Army MP and a liberator of German concentration camps, Mom idolized her brother. Jerry took care of his sister to the day he died. When Jerry's wife Sylvia had a terrible stroke, Mom, being a loyal sister-in-law, was there for her, helping not only Sylvia, but niece Marla as well. Wherever Mom lived, she touched the lives of many. I have a large box overflowing with cards from friends extolling her virtues. From everywhere she lived, the words of her friends are the same. Thoughtful, always there for me, were always combined with a level of love not often expressed among friends. While in Phoenix, she adopted and loved her wonderful neighbors, Mark, Kathy, and their daughter Mandy. I have spent time with them and understand how strong their love was for Mom. Carol, Stuart, Michael, Stacy, Mindy, and Howard Horn were as much our family as Marcia, Dad, and me. Mom adored her Aunt Molly, Carol's mother, who did not get to enjoy a long life. Mom filled that void, providing guidance, love, compassion, and understanding to the Horn family. The Horns have and continue to show love that is mutual. For cousin Carol, she was an adopted mom. For Stuart, a caring and thoughtful person, a companion to help balance cousin Carol's big personality. The Horn family shared these thoughts about Mom. For us, she was really an aunt and grandmother rolled into one. She was the matriarch of our family and one of the few people whom our mom, Carol, would seek for advice. Growing up, she was a fixture at our family holidays and boggle game nights. Our family was always filled with laughter during those days. Stacy said she's going to miss my mom's stories. Mom used to tell the Horn children what it was like growing up in the Depression with nothing and being a young woman in the Navy. The last time their family got to see her was at Randy's wedding. While her mind was slipping, her personality was the same. She told Stacy that she worked her entire life and that when she retired, her mind did too. Her warmth, strength, and laughter will be greatly missed. Marcia, you, her daughter, had the following thoughts. I love my mom for always loving me. Mom was my rock. Mom was always there for me. Mom never gave up on me. Mom was proud of me. I have so many memories of Mom. She made the best mushroom rice mold. During the summer, Mom took us to Wrigley Field on Ladies' Day for Cubs games. When we went to the Chicago Stadium for Blackhawks games, Mom always tried to protect us from the street life we saw. We saw it anyway, even if we never told you. Mom and Dad always said that weekends are for family. Mom came up with something to do, but on Sunday during football season, we all watched the Bears game. Mom called my Grandma Kern called my mom a fish woman. When Mom was yelling at me for something, I called my grandma, and she said, hand the phone to the fish woman. I let my mom hear, and it always made her laugh every time. Mom always seemed to get food stains on her blouses. Mom drove too fast for everyone. Randy and I always said, slow down, and Mom's response was, wee. She never slowed down. Later in life, there were several events I will never forget. Mom took her blood pressure every morning. One day, she got a highly abnormal result and thought her machine stopped working. Did she call 911 or see a doctor? No, she did what anyone would do. She got in her car and she drove to Cousin Carol to get help. Cousin Carol took her blood pressure, got the same result, and the doctor said get to the ER immediately. The result, a pacemaker she relied on for the rest of her life. Mom was still driving her car at the age of 90, got into a car accident, and she of course insisted it was not her fault, but every eyewitness disagreed. Along with the ticket came a requirement to pay a substantial fine or a reduced fine if she took an online driving exam. She chose the second option, but didn't have patience for the online exam. So Carol, her supportive cousin, did it for her. They were quite the pair. Thanksgivings were great for holiday get-togethers with Mom and Carol sharing their responsibilities for the joint Samuel's Horn gathering. Mom loved seeing Randy grow up. She loved talking to her on the phone, and she loved that she first got to meet Randy's husband, Billy, at her 90th birthday party, and that he was also a Navy veteran. Mom was thrilled to attend Randy and Billy's wedding and got to hug and kiss Caden, as she had only talked to him on the phone. Less than a month ago, she was so excited when she was told that Randy and Billy are expecting. Mom, you taught me so many things as a child and into adulthood. There was one thing you didn't teach me. You never taught me how to go on without you and Cousin Carol. And now Michael's last love letter to Mom. As for me, Mom was my first dance partner, my biggest supporter, and oh, when she thought I was wrong, there were no words. Firm is an understatement. I will not miss that look. But I would not be the person I am today without her firm leadership. She taught me the style of leading from the rear. She was the manifestation of Mary Tyler Moore, always allowing men their position but never being dominated by them. While the stronger of the two personalities and the better business person, she acquiesced to my dad, Stan, in many ways, again without being dominated. Mom, like her mom and her mom's mom, were the rulers of the roost. Thank you for allowing me that strength. You were a wonderful grandmother to Liz and Emily, and they could always depend on your love and laughter. As well as regular visits, you were there for their bat mitzvah, their high school graduations, Liz's graduation from New York University, Emily's graduation from the University of Wisconsin, and at 92, you attended Emily's graduation from medical school in Miami. You used to say to me, "You are my rock. Where would I be without you?" I would shake my head, laugh, and respond, "You would be in Oshkosh." That would make you chuckle in that inimitable way. In reality, the question was asked in the wrong direction. Where would I be without you? When visiting you, I became friends with a resident in your Philadelphia community. He always looked out for you and reported to me how you were doing. He said you always bragged about me to him, another instant friendship you created. He sent me these words: those that we lost are not where they were before, and now, everywhere we are. Mom, Julie and I will miss our weekly sojourns, your laugh, and your sense of humor that you never lost. We are happy that we got to really know you as adults and appreciated the lessons we learned about dying, aging, and most of all, living. Those who love you and whose lives you touched in such a profound way in Chicago, Phoenix, and Philadelphia mourn your passing and our loss together. I love you, Mom. Your grateful son, Michael. P.S. Mom, I confess, I broke the head off the Oriental statue. It appears Elmer's glue of the 1960s works quite well. The head is intact almost 60 years later. These words, Eshet Chayil, a woman of valor. A woman of valor, who can find her? Her worth is far above jewels. The heart of her husband trusts in her and nothing he lacks. She renders good and not evil all the days of her life. She opens her hands to the needy and extends her hands to the poor. She is robed in strength and dignity and cheerfully faces whatever may come. She opens her mouth with wisdom. Her tongue is guided by kindness. She tends to the affairs of her family and eats not the bread of idleness. Her children come forth and bless her. Her husband praises her. Many women have done superbly, but you surpass them. Charm is deceitful, beauty is vain, but a God-fearing, a God-awing woman is much to be praised. Place before her the fruit of her hands. When people gather, her deeds speak her praise. And so we are gathered to speak her praises, to share in the remembrance in the life of Shirley Samuels, and to lay her to rest here at Shalom Memorial Cemetery next to her husband, surrounded both in physical presence and in spirit by her family. We will now lower the casket.
Songs for her granddaughters.
And we'll play the songs, the two songs that have been sent in. We'll play now as the casket. favorable, Adonai our God, toward your people Israel, and receive our prayers with love. May Israel's worship always be acceptable. God is close to all who call out. Turn to your servants and be gracious to us. Pour out your spirit upon us. May our gaze upon your return to Zion with mercy. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose presence returns in Zion. As Liz and Emily sang these words of return, Rabbi Rami Shapiro wrote, "Like a wave arising from the ocean's dance, so do we arise from the dance of God. Like a wave returning from the rocky shore, its form given to chaos, but restored to the ocean's unity. So do we return from life's end, recycled in the holiness to dance once more. Awesome and wondrous is the dance of God. May all who mourn find comfort. May all who fall beneath sorrow's burden find the strength to rise and walk on. Let us grant each other peace and give each other courage. Let us spread out a blanket of peace that we might aid in each other's healing." And so as we are here, we participate in the ritual of burial, the most sacred of all mitzvot, because it is something that we do for our beloveds, but that could never be repaid directly to us. And it is part of uniting us with the fabric of our people, with the fabric of the Jewish community, and all of our ancestors, that we say we are here to take care of you, just as we know that the future generations will be here to take care of us. The ritual of a funeral is called levaya, which literally means accompaniment. It means being together, which is challenging in this moment in our time. But part of the being together is making sure that Shirley has not been alone, that she was surrounded by family, that she was lovingly brought to Chicago. And we had the opportunity here to look at her face one more time and say goodbye. And now, as we accompany her to her burial. So I want to invite all of us to take part in this mitzvah. There are disposable cups so we can be as safe as possible. And there is earth from Israel, which we will also place in the grave. So I invite you to join me alongside the grave as we participate in the burial of our beloved Shirley.
When you're done with the cup, just place it into the garbage can.
Marcia and Michael, on your behalf, I share in Shirley's grave earth that also comes from Har HaZeitim, from the Mount of Olives in Rome. You are able where you are for the chanting of El Malay Rachamim, following which we will be present as our workers complete the filling of the grave. with mercy, dwelling in the heavens' heights, bring proper rest beneath the wings of your presence, amid the ranks of the holy and the pure, illuminating like the brilliance of the skies the soul of Shirley Elizabeth Samuels, who has gone to her eternal place of rest. May you, who are the source of mercy, shelter her beneath your wings eternally, and bind her soul among the living, that she may rest in peace. And we say, Amen. I invite those of you who are watching from afar and those of you who are here to remain standing with us as we recite Mourner's Kaddish, the memorial prayer for those in our hearts who have died. Mourner's Kaddish is a prayer that is actually not about death. It is a prayer that is about praising the glory of life and the glory of the forces of goodness that exist in the universe. We praise the life that continues, the blueness in the sky and the sun that is shining. We praise and offer gratitude for all of those who are working, all of those who are lending us their labor, and those who have worked even in times when we are trying to stay physically distant from one another. We are grateful for Shirley and her service to our country, her service to her family, and who she was in the world. May her memory be a blessing. The words of Mourner's Kaddish are on your pamphlet. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah. Be'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon uvyomechon uvchayedecho Beit Yisrael. Bagala uvizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach leolam olamei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei t'kudsha b'richu. Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Damiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru amen. Zichrona livracha, may Shirley's memory always be a blessing.
This concludes the services. You may go to your cars at this time.
Your memory be a blessing, and may you find comfort in your family. Thank you, everyone.